What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on any content. It really means a lot to me. Today's video is going to focus on building a computer for less than $500 that will be able to run Fortnite at over 100 FPS. Alright, let's get started. Alright guys, so I actually have a cool surprise for you today. I have two builds ready for you. One's an Intel build, one's an AMD build, and that way you have some options as to which way you want to go. If you prefer Intel or if you prefer AMD, you can go with either one. Let's start with Intel. Alright guys, as always, we're going to start with the CPU, and for the Intel build, we're going with the Core i3-10100. It's a 4-core, 8-thread processor that has integrated graphics strong enough to run Fortnite at about 75 FPS at ultra settings. It's got a base clock speed of 3.6 GHz with a boost clock speed of 4.3 GHz, and it comes on an LGA 1200 socket. Now it comes with the cooler, so I'm not going to have to worry about spending a little bit extra money on a cooler. The stock one that it comes with will be just fine to keep it at good temperatures. And at only $120, this is a killer price for the CPU. Now the motherboard we're going to be putting our CPU in is the MSI B460M Pro Series. It is a micro ATX board that will support our Intel chip. It has 2 slots for DDR4 RAM and supports up to 2933 MHz. And the RAM we're going to be putting in the motherboard is the G-Skill Ripjaw V-Series 8GB DDR4 2666 RAM. It has a cache latency of 15, which is going to be fast enough to run Fortnite and a couple other games of your choosing. For our memory, we're going with the Team GX2 512GB 2.5-inch SSD. It has a read speed of 530 megabytes per second, and it's got more than enough room to install the operating system and Fortnite. For our power supply, we're going to go with the EVGA 80 Plus Bronze 450 watt non-modular PSU. Now the case we're going to put this in is the DIY PC DIY F2 white micro ATX mini tower. It has top mounted IO ports, USB 3.0, 2 built-in 120mm fans with room for 2 more, 4 PCI slots, front and top panel mesh design, and plenty of room in the back for cable management. Alright guys, so that's just the computer. Now we're going to get into some peripherals. This is going to be a full setup build that is still around $500. Don't worry, at the end I'll kind of explain the prices. Now for our monitor, we had to go with something that wouldn't break the bank, and the best one I could find is the Scepter 20-inch 75Hz ultra thin LED monitor, coming in at only $80. That has a 5 millisecond response time, which is pretty good, and you'll definitely be able to run Fortnite and play pretty well on it. The same thing with the keyboard and mouse, is we couldn't really break the bank on it, so we had to find a nice budget option. And the one I found is the Logitech Mark 120 keyboard and mouse combination. These are wired components, but Logitech is a great brand for gaming overall. And coming in at only $14, you get both components, which is really nice, and kind of a deal you can't beat on a budget. And the final peripheral that I have for you guys is a headset. You know you can't game without the proper headset. I had the Turtle Beach Air Force Recon 50 gaming headset. At only $25, this is actually a surprisingly awesome deal. They have killer reviews on Amazon, and for budget headphones, these are going to be the best ones I think you could find that will be able to have a crisp, clear audio. It also comes with the mic, and they're lightweight for those long gaming sessions. So that brings our Intel bill to a grand total of $525.69, which is slightly over budget. However, if we remove all the peripherals, assuming that you have some of those components lying around the house, or you can find them cheaper on third-party websites, it comes to a grand total of $406.78 for just the PC. And to be able to run Fortnite at over 100 FPS at 1080p high-quality settings is a really, really killer deal. Now, for you AMD fanboys, fangirls, let's check out that build. Now, the AMD build is super comparable to the Intel build. A lot of the components are the same, all the peripherals are the same, the RAM's the same, the PSU's the same. I did change up, obviously, the CPU and the motherboard, but I also changed the case just to kind of give some variety. You could also put this case into the Intel build. It's kind of up to you. You have a lot of playroom with the case. It's whatever fits in your budget, whatever fits into what you prefer. Now, the AMD CPU that we're going to go with is the AMD Ryzen 3 2200G. This has the Radeon 8 integrated graphics in it, so that will be able to run Fortnite 1080p high quality settings at about 111 FPS. It's got a base clock speed of 3.7 GHz, and it's got 4 cores, 8 threads, AM4 socket with a max system memory speed of 2667 MHz. Now this CPU is a little bit pricier than the Intel one. This one comes in at about $183. Now, of course, we have to go with a motherboard that's compatible with AMD. For that, I found the ASRock B450M HDV motherboard. And like I said, the RAM's going to be the same, the PSU is the same, the storage is the same, but I did change the case up. The case that I went with for this AMD build is a Cooler Master Masterbox QA300L Micro ATX tower. It has a magnetic dust filter, transparent acrylic side panel, and adjustable I/O, but it only comes with one exhaust fan, so you might want to add some more. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. So with the same peripherals as the Intel build, this brings a grand total for the AMD build to $554.73. A little bit over that $500 budget, but remove all those if you can, and we're left with $435.82. And this AMD build will run Fortnite at high quality, 1080p at 111 FPS, and that's just a killer deal. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's builds. Both these options are great, whether you like Intel, whether you like AMD, whether you can only find the Intel or only find the AMD, whatever you can find, either way, you're going to be able to run Fortnite 1080p, high quality settings at way more than 60 FPS. And this build's great for beginners, all the way up to pros, to your little brother, your little sister, your cousin, your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, the guy down the street who you just want to be nice to. This build is a perfect budget build for anybody looking to just dabble in computer gaming. Let me know down in the comments which build you guys are going to go with, whether it's Intel or AMD. I'd love to know. Also, thank you again so much for stopping by watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you liked hanging out with me today, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, so that way you guys don't miss any content I put out. And I'll see you guys in the next one.